sounded like a refrigerant line for the AC unit.
Is that a tire blowing air?
Well, that's what it sounded like. Oh, yeah, it's the right side on your side, isn't it? Rachel and I are out here right now doing this, and it's free. Like, it is absolutely legally free. It's just my experience. I am not saying that this is the right answer, or you have to go live in a van, be a nomad or a vagabond. But it really blows my mind. I mean, with cancer and everything so rampant nowadays, like, to spend my life not doing what I want and hope that 30 years from now, Rachel and I will still have the same health. We won't have Zeke. And, you know, he's our child at this point. Look at him. He's sitting up on a perch like a gargoyle in New York. I just can't even, man. Just looking at everything like he's on top of the world. How many dogs get to experience this? And there's not mountains in every state, but he's been to 48 states. I mean, he's seen it. This is living. Like, this is what we were designed to do as humans. Just walk around with your dog, hike around. We overcomplicate everything. I say this so many times, but I've experienced it. I have skin in the game. After 3 years of doing this, it's like, it really makes you scratch your head and say, what's important? We're gonna go for a little ride here and decide. We were gonna go to Canyonlands or Arches, but we don't know if that really makes much sense just to turn around after one hike and drive back here to spend the night. If we were gonna stay at the spot that we've stayed at before by Canyonlands, it would make sense, but it's only like 1 or 2 spots, and you know, it could be tough to try and get a spot there. So that'd be a lot of driving just to drive back and only do one hike there. So we shall see. We're gonna take a little drive down here and see what's in store. Check out this setup.
They look like they've been here a while.
I know. I don't know. They got the dish hopper and stuff. Maybe they're full time. It's a sweet spot, sweet setup. Sounded like a refrigerant line for the AC unit.
Is that a tire blowing air?
Well, that's what it sounded like. Oh, yeah, it's the right side on your side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I didn't even hear it. There was nothing even that sharp.
Yeah, completely flat.
On the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sidewall too, probably.
Oh, God.
No one's brave enough. It's okay. It's not your fault, babe. It was just funny how you said that, and then it happened. Well, Rach just made the comment. She said no one's brave enough to go down this road, and yeah, well, it didn't even look that bad. I mean, there were some rocks right on that point there, but nothing like we haven't already drove through. And I heard it. It almost sounded like it was a refrigerant line from that rear AC. I can't tell if it's on a sidewall. It sounds like van life. Well, we will not be doing any hiking in the park tonight. Well, 3 years. It took us 3 years to have this happen. As Rachel would say.
Three.
She literally, like, I'm not even kidding, 10 seconds, I don't know if I have the clip or not, she's like, maybe no one's brave enough to go down this road, because I said,
You said the first
I wonder
part.
if this is the last camp spot where that guy was parked. And then Rachel was like, maybe no one's brave enough. And then
You've had so many other scary rocky roads.
I know. I completely agree.
What can I do?
Not too much.
I've never watched one or done one or.
Yeah, a couple of things. The rear tire, I checked the air before we left. It's not to say that there's still air in there. I'll have to be very careful coming through. Because if we pop another one, we're hosed.
Did you let AAA lapse?
No, AAA is good till May, but AAA is not coming 20 miles off the highway. Look at our little helper. He just sits down next to the tools and he's like, yeah, I got a funny feeling we're going to be here for a while, so I'm just going to take a seat. Yeah, are you a good helper?
Sure are handsome. He's a handsome boy. Wow, these rocks are so cool.
No.
Those are called lug nuts, right?
Yeah. They shouldn't be this hard, but on this van, they're like 180 or 175 foot-pounds. Regular cars, like half that.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, the time that I don't bring like all of my tools. So if you have a Sprinter van, this is how you take the spare tire off. You could look at a YouTube video of someone else that probably has a better step-by-step, but take those two plastic covers off. I forget, I think this is like a of course I have limited sockets, so I got to try and do this, match it up to standard. I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, it's like a 19 and I don't have a 19 in here.
He keeps his other tools under the bed.
Yeah, and of course this happens when I don't have or bring but you know what? The reality is, I mean, not that we wanted that to happen, but kind of in the game of life, you have to look at your eyes crossed there when you look down at the screen.
If it was going to happen somewhere, we'd rather it be on a deserted road than a
well, not even
freeway.
That, you know, 60,000 something miles that we've done.
Oh, yeah.
65,000. And some of the roads, it's like, wow.
So did this spare come with the van, or did you buy it, or how does that work?
This is there. So it's probably a 10-year-old tire. So I should call. I'll look and see if I can find where the puncture is. If it's a sidewall, we're hosed. We just gotta buy a brand new tire.
Yeah. And you buy just one though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's 200 some bucks.
Sure, but
if it's just the middle part, like just a puncture. Then we should be able to just bring it somewhere and get it passed. And I have a feeling that other tire is not going to fit in the spare spot, so we're going to have to
go under the bed.
We're going to have to make some room.
Nice.
You can bring that down here.
What? This?
The camera. Yeah. Just I got it like that. Okay, I'll just show you. So you push up. Let me see with my sunglasses off. You push up on this after you undid the 2 bolts that I showed you on both sides. Once you push this up with the tire, you push this lever. It's hard for me to hold the camera. There we go. See, so
I got it.
Got it. Pull that aside and then lift that up. Same on the other side. And then drop the tire down. Slide her out, and good measure before you hit a road trip, which I did before we left, was check to see if this thing had air in it. We do have a pump, but it's really not a nice pump. It would take forever if this thing, yeah, 2015, so it's a factory tire. And what's crazy is a lot of newer vehicles are like the Revels and stuff. I don't think they have a spare.
Like a compartment to keep it?
Just some of them have underclearance, some of them probably do, but a lot of newer cars don't have a spare.
Okay,
but to definitely keep in mind, if you're out bushwhacking in the middle of nowhere, because again,
watch your head.
To get a tow truck out here, it would be cheaper for us to burn up that tire, like that rim, like drive out with a complete flat and screw it all up if it would get up the incline and stuff. I mean, it'd probably be, I don't even want to know what they charge me. I should have kept those clips in there.
I will take those 2 little.
That's fine. We'll just keep mine.
Zeke's like, what is that?
So, now you want to go, and I'll just do it myself and just set the e-brake, and then realistically I should put a rock in the front tire. Also, if you have a 2015 or this generation Sprinter, it lives under here.
What
the jack and the lug nut box.
Okay, you need a big rock.
Well, make sure you're as flat as can be. We're out in the sticks right now. There's really not an option for me to get completely flat. Jack goes right here in the rear. Twist this clockwise to tighten it. And then you put these in there and start pumping. And then I did, as I said before, put the e-brake on. I put some bigger rocks in the front just to kind of chalk the tires, and we'll see how this goes. You can hand me one of those blue rods. Actually, just get them all. Yeah, thank you. Ideally, if you can position this to where it sneaks out of the wheel well, like this, you'll be able to get more cranks. Yeah. I had a lift at my house before I sold my house. I sold the lift when I sold my house. But man, having a lift and having actual floor jack, you really don't realize how good you have it until you got to use a bottle jack and the old-fashioned way out in the dirt. But kind of like a shower for us when we've been out in the sticks for a long time and then get a Planet Fitness shower. It makes you appreciate it. And I should actually check these brakes while I'm in here. I did them right before we left, but generally with how much weight we have here, and I try and engine brake as much as possible in the mountains, but we do tend to go through the rears fairly quickly. Front brake pads you generally go through quicker because your fronts are 75% of your braking, so they're a bigger pad and they tend to last longer. Our pads, as I said in another video, they were a little low in the front, but I didn't replace them, and I was like, oh, you know, I'll probably get 1,000 miles down the road and have to do them. we haven't had to do them, and we're what? 6,000 miles in, so.
Did we bring extra pads with?
Yeah.
Nice.
Never put your legs or anything under the vehicle while you're using a bottle jack, or even a regular jack for that matter. If this thing slips or that jack fails and there's nothing holding this up, I don't have a jack stand, you'll be having a bad day if you're under there and your leg gets pinned, especially in a spot like this. So food for thought, always be on the...
It's like the number one thing you say when we see someone on the side of the road changing a tire.
Yeah, well, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't take much. You'll be having a bad day for sure. I mean, you wouldn't, I can't imagine how long it would take to get medical people out here. This is not what I usually use. I have a big M18 Fuel Milwaukee at home that's rated to like 1,000 foot-pounds or something. This thing's probably 80 or 100. So, but again, in a van, space matters, and that impact would take up so much space. And in 3 years of traveling, other than rotating tires, which I've done while we're on the road, good measure is always have this thing close by. I'm gonna set this. I would set it under there, but I want to be able to get it quicker to where I can just put this on.
Can I hand it to you or something?
No, you're fine. It's heavy.
Oh. Just sitting here.
Yeah, you're good, babe. We'll see if I got it up high enough for that tire, because I believe this one should be bigger. Try as much as possible not to like maneuver it and kick it around.
Why?
Because sometimes like your tire will be stuck on the wheel, especially from the Midwest with rust, and don't, you know, try and be careful with it being on a jack stand, because it's easy to forget. I was gonna say maybe this one right here.
Where?
Here I am telling you guys to put the tire on as quick as possible, and then I'm like, where's the hole? Our pads are still good in the rear, so that's solid. We are gonna leave those. Oh, and this is the bent wheel.
Oh no.
Remember?
What?
So when we drove on it before, but when we took this to Sam's Club, they said the wheel was bent.
Oh.
So remember, we were gonna go on a trip, and so I just said, well, can you guys just take the spare for now? I mean, again, we've put 65,000 miles on this thing,
Right.
and never had to use a spare. But yeah, this one had a pretty severe bend in it. I replaced the wheel after we bought this van from auction. They hit the front left pretty hard. But unless a shop screwed it up and changed the wrong wheel, or had already rotated it before, who knows. But yeah, this wheel is tweaked. Granted, it's in the rear, so we won't feel it as much. If it was in the front, you'd feel it in the steering wheel.
Can we make it to Grand Junction though?
Yeah.
An hour and a half?
I mean, we don't have a choice. AAA it? No. Oh, I'm sure he's probably like, dude, there's a hole in the house. Probably thinking, how long are we gonna stay here, you know?
Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm pretty hungry, I'm almost out of food.
Yeah. One thing I do have is a torque wrench rated to like 300 foot-pounds, so I can actually torque this wheel. If you were out and about in the sticks, I'd just, you know, make sure the lug nuts are tight. one of these, if you have something that's got 150, even if you don't have something that has 150 foot-pounds or 175 foot-pounds of torque on the lug nuts, shops use impacts all the time where they just pound those suckers home, or if they're frozen up on there. I've had to literally stand on a like 3-foot breaker bar and dance with all my weight to get it to actually snap down. So good food for thought. You can pick one of these up at Harbor Freight for 17 bucks. I'm sure in the last couple of years they've went up, maybe 25. But I would highly recommend it. As much as I think about torquing these things, I'm not. I'm just gonna put them tight because I'm gonna be taking this off in the Sam's Club parking lot, hopefully. Crisscross pattern is what they say. I mean, there's really, so if I start here, if I started here, which I did, then I went to here, then I went to here, I went to here, I'll move over to here, and to there.
I thought you were just dancing around when you were doing that earlier.
No. And now, once I let it down and take the e-brake off, just so I'm not stressing those springs on the e-brake, I'll torque it a little bit more. It wasn't too bad. I mean, that was pretty quick. All things considered.
That's how quick it goes down?
Yeah.
Crazy. The hole has been discovered.
Yeah, so what you want to do is if you have a bottle of soap and water, you spray it while there's air in the tire and it'll bubble wherever the hole is. This tire is obviously, it was a boom, it was a rupture, but right there, it's a pretty good size. But it is right in the tread wall to where I would think they'd be able to put a patch on that. I'm not a tire guy though. I mean, I don't install tires for a living.
So point with it just to your finger.
Right there, you can see it looks like one of these splits, but it's spreading
all the way down.
Yeah, down into there. So it's a pretty good size.
To not get the shadow.
Yeah, it's all good. So there's that.
There it is.
Now we shall see if she fits. Oh, nice. We're golden bears.
Golden bears.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I don't even know what that was. We should have timed that.
I took a picture.
Thought we were like shutting stuff up and he's just like, I'm not going. I don't want to get in that van ever again. I just want to be a free fighting dog.
This is what spoiled looks like.
Like burrows down like a bear rug into the dirt. Well, that's fine. You can walk down there if you'd like.
You were gonna fill up the tire.
Huh? I'll just drive down to that spot.
Okay. Goodbye, Zeke. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Well, we made her. This was definitely worth the drive. Would have been a lot cooler if we didn't pop a tire, but it is what it is. You know, you win some, you lose some, and it's the price you pay for driving on stuff like this. This rock stuff here, like this isn't a good example, but some of it is just, they're razor blades. I mean, they're extremely sharp. So that, I'm guessing, is for sure what cut it. But that is Arches National Park right over there. I think this fence right here is actually the park boundary. You said it was, right? Yeah, so Rachel looked it up. This is the park boundary. So We are camping as close outside of the park as I would say you could. We had a flat, and a guy at a truck and a camper came through. Didn't say anything, just drove through, but then went up into there, turned around, and as I was putting the tire and some stuff away, he said, are you guys camping up there? And I said, well, yeah, we just got a flat tire right on that hill, like right over there as we were coming down. So I said, be careful when you're going up that. And he said, you guys are camping in that spot? And I said, yeah, once I get all this buttoned up. And he's like, that's a really nice spot.
Lucky.
Did he say lucky?
Yeah.
And I said, thank you. Like, I mean, we were on our way here, we were checking it out, but we got a flat tire en route. And I mean, it's kind of a tight little spot. I could have probably said, hey, you can just park in here. But again, this isn't fair. I mean, I'm not holding judgment, but on the way through, he didn't say a word like, hey, you guys need any help? Do you need any tools? You good to go? It's fine. But yeah, this is really, with having a dog, I don't know if they had a dog.
They had two.
They had 2 dogs with us, so yeah, we're cool. And we're gonna soak this in and enjoy this view. Yeah, how beautiful.
We're gonna subject our little boy to
some R&R. Oh yeah, you're putting on his boots. He's gonna hate it, but these are so sharp. The last thing we want is then to have a bad paw injury that brings us into town, and then have a tire blow out on the way. I gotta start getting some air in this thing because our pump is pretty weak, so I'm gonna have to do shifts. This is a prime example. I should carry my M18 impact on me. We should buy an M18 inflator for situations like this. And then also, if we had to air down for sand, having a better compressor would be nice for this, but we'll see.
new boots. I can't do both, so I can't record with both. Are those your new boots? Because he doesn't know.
He's gonna try and rip them off.
Oh, Nate!
Oh, you already lost. You didn't have them on tight enough. It's like, is this some kind of sick joke? Buddy, the rocks, they're sharp. Just reaches, like, I mean just reaches. I'm gonna walk away from it. So those are pretty cheap. You can get those at Harbor Freight. There's a nicer version that's like 70 bucks. I think that one's like 30 or 40, probably 40 these days. In a pinch on a regular sedan, like, it's fine. This tire was at 35 PSI and it needs to be at 70. That's gonna take a while and that pump will really get hot. So I'll probably put 15 PSI in, shut it off, let it rest for an hour, do it again. I mean, I'm confident in the sense of we'll be able to get out of here just fine to get to like a service station or something. But yeah, nice to have that kind of stuff, you know, when you're in a pinch. I mean, some of the spots we go, there's a place in Flagstaff where we're an hour and 40 minutes from a road, from an actual road. To get a service truck up there, I mean, you're talking thousands of dollars. So try and be prepared. That's number one, you know, just make sure you have some tools. What is really a bummer, like my mechanical background, is I brought, the first couple trips I would always bring everything, like all of my tools, or 95% of them. Never use any of it. And then the 5%, like whatever I didn't bring or a specialty tool, I needed. And that's just damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the basic stuff, like a pump, make sure your spare tire is pumped up. If you have a car that's equipped to have a spare, make sure the spare is in there. I mean, sometimes when you buy a used car, the spare's not even in there. Make sure the jack works. Make sure you have a 4-way or a tire iron to pull that off, you know, to pull the lug nuts off. And like I said, sometimes those lug nuts are so tight to where a breaker bar is definitely a good thing to have on hand. Because that's just kind of the thing when you're boondocking, especially, but even on the side of the road, some of the spots you won't see a car for, you know, an hour. But when you're out in the middle of nowhere, you really want to have some stuff.
Stop.
We got the tire juiced up. Got about 70 PSI in there. So that's good. Took a couple shots just of not overheating that compressor. Got my phone. Okay, I'm gonna come up here and get some pictures of the van possibly. It's so cool to just wander around like this at spots. Man, these rocks are sharp. It's no wonder that completely sliced that. I was just glad it wasn't a sidewall, but I looked. Excuse me, I'm out of breath. We bought this set at Sam's Club, and it came with roadside protection. So it should be covered, I guess is what I was getting at. So Grand Junction, where we're gonna stop at next to get him food, does actually say they have some in stock. Whether that's accurate or not, I don't know. They might be able to put a patch on it, but it's a pretty good size hole. Kind of got a feeling. Two sides to that. I could see them saying, no, we're just gonna patch it because they don't want to pay for a tire. But for a safety concern, might be a pretty good size gash. All right, let's see here. This is pretty good. We'll go up a little higher and get a picture. Look at this. What a spot, man. This is gonna sound ridiculous, but I'm gonna say this. I'm just sick of finding all these nice spots. Really not, it's incredible. It seriously just seems like it doesn't end. Every time we're like, oh, that's probably the nicest spot we'll stay at. It's like, nope, there's another one, there's another one. We've had a lot of gems this trip. So I'm pretty sure that fence right there is the border of Arches National Park. And then when we were in Zion, we found that spot, stayed there, I think 3 nights. It was just a turnoff. It was on BLM land. Look at this thing. That's the most bizarre looking thing I think I've ever seen. This rancher, I really wish I would have filmed it. Came by, parked on the road, kind of blocked us in, was looking at us. I got a picture of his face. And then I think I might have even got his plate. And later on in the day, he came back through another time. And that time he stopped. Then he came forward, stopped, and started walking up towards the van. So I got out of the van and started walking down the trail. So what are you doing here? So what do you mean, what am I doing here? He's like, you guys are blocking the road. And I said, dude, there's a road here, and then there's a side road, like just a turnoff. Like no one needs this road. And we've been here the whole time. So if someone was like, hey, you know, we need to get through for whatever reason, I would have moved. And check out this rock. It's cool. So I'm sorry that I'm so out of breath. He said, well, the grader's been trying to get through. And I said, dude, the grader's been waving at us. Like, the grader's cool. There's no reason that the grader, look at him. Oh, shit, that's a great picture. There's no reason that the grader would need to get in here. Just unbelievable, man. It feels like we're on top of the world. This is that little, like, mushroom-looking thing that... Should be careful on this edge, though, because I think this could kind of drop off. I'm gonna need you to come back up here with Mom and stay there. Okay, so let me... Hey, dude, you will fall. Come up here. That's a 15, 20-foot drop, man. Just walk straight out to that edge, like, yeah, no big deal. He has no fear. So back to the rancher story. Rancher stops, gets out, says that. I said, dude, the grader's been waving at us. Like, and I could feel this situation out where it's like, you can get all tall and mighty and, you know, aggressive. And I'm like, you know, there's really no reason for it. This guy's probably lived here his whole life. He sees the out-of-state plates. He's pissed off. We're on public land. And so I made the comment, I said, well, we're on public land. And he puffed out his chest and kind of came towards me and said something about some natural well. There was no natural well in the vicinity that we were at. He was just kind of blowing smoke and trying to scare me to say, I mean, there very well could have been one, but it wasn't right in the vicinity of where there were signs or where I could hear water or see it. And So then I said, listen, man, I'm not trying to step on your toes. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's day. Like, we're from Wisconsin. It's cold back home. We're just trying to enjoy this view. You grew up around this view. I said, how long you lived here? And he said, my whole life, 40 years or something like that. And I said, listen, man, this is a beautiful view. We're just trying to take this in, not here, but outside of Zion. And I said, I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes or ruin anyone's day. And I said, I'm not here doing drugs, throwing trash around. He said, I know you're not. And I said, okay, well then, you know, kind of what's the deal? So I said, what's your name? He said, Calvin. We shook hands, you know, and that was a situation of where we just kind of both became equals. He's, you know, as much as he felt that's his land, it was Bureau of Land Management. I mean, it was public land. It said right at the beginning of the sign, 14 days camping. There was a campground right down the street that a farmer kind of turned into a campground. And so many gem rocks up here. Rachel's gonna have to come up here. Listen to my ADD, but I always route back to what I was gonna say. So I said to Kelvin, I said, are you the farmer that has the land and you just like want me to go back there and pay for camping at your spot? And he's like, no, that's not mine. That farmer just didn't want people camping all over. It's like, no, that farmer wanted to collect $45 a night from people to camp is what that was. Anyways, wow, that was that. This is the OG drone. This was what a drone shot was before drones were cool. Climb I was gonna say mother effing mountain, come up here and get a snapshot or a picture. That is a view, man. So anywho, that was that. And then this guy today said this spot was beautiful and was kind of like, there's hardly any room for us to level out, and he had 2 dogs. So I was just like, yeah, it looks like a nice spot, thanks. Looks like there might be a spot down there too, but I guess that would be lower. And technically I think that would be in the park, but I don't see a sign down there saying that's in the park. I'm just shocked that we spent the night over by the bike trailhead when this was right down here. But I think we're going to continue to go up here, see how high up I can get. Man, I want some of these rocks for at home. Like this, I can't even explain how sharp this is. It's like a razor blade. It's no wonder we got a flat tire. Check out that sky. What a trip. Look at this 4-wheeler just ripping, man. He's probably going to see us up on this perch and just go, what in the world? Perch, I'm up halfway up a mountain. It'd be so sweet to have a side-by-side out here. I was just telling Rach, I'm like, could you imagine? You just go for days. With that as your view too. I mean, unbelievable. Zeke's just tripping out. He's like, what? This is living. Like, this is what we were designed to do as humans. Just walk around with your dog, hike around. We overcomplicate everything. I say this so many times, but I've experienced it. I have skin in the game. After 3 years of doing this, it's like, it really makes you scratch your head and say, what's important? Like, what do we need? Do we need to spend 30 years of our lives for a 2,500 or a 3,000 square foot home that we're not even at because we have to work so hard, and then with kids and sports and wanting to get out of the house and be out in nature? It's just like, that seems crazy to me. I don't even know if I have 30 years left. So to spend that and 40 to 60% of my income to put like a roof over my head. Rachel and I are out here right now doing this, and it's free. Like, it is absolutely legally free. No taxes, no fee. This spot is 14 days. So you'd have to go on down to the road and, you know, do another one, but it's just nuts. It really makes you just scratch your head and go, what are we all doing? I mean, I just read an article that said the United States has fallen to the unhappiest we've ever been, like, as a nation. And these are the kids that were camping next to us, that were chasing the cows last night. And that's sad, man. That should make people scratch their heads and go, maybe what we're told we have to do and what the answer is isn't the answer at all. Maybe we could reverse engineer everything and slow things down and figure out what's important to us. Health, freedom, like the free time and the ability to say, hey, I don't have ties. I don't have $8,000 or $5,000 of debt each month that's tying me to an area that, and again, this is just my experience. I am not saying that this is the right answer or you have to go live in a van, be a nomad or a vagabond. But it really blows my mind. I mean, with cancer and everything so rampant nowadays, like to spend my life not doing what I want and hope that 30 years from now, Rachel and I will still have the same health. We won't have Zeke. And you know, he's our child at this point. Look at him. He's sitting up on a perch like a gargoyle in New York. I just can't even, man. Just looking at everything like he's on top of the world. How many dogs get to experience this? And there's not mountains in every state, but he's been to 48 states. I mean, he's seen it damn near a good portion of it. Not seen it all, but it's just incredible. So if there's one thing I can tell you, I challenge you to be more true to yourself. Do things that are more appealing to you. Break the social norm and just be happy. As long as you're not hurting people and you're not relying on other people to foot the bill, don't go be reckless. I mean, don't go out and take out a bunch of loans for a van and then find out you don't like the van life and you're stuck with it and you're underwater in equity. Don't go put it on a bunch of credit cards and then go, oh, YOLO, and then have to pay the price for 10, 15. I mean, do whatever you want. I'm not saying I'm David Ramsey or I know it all. But it's just pretty crazy when you get out here and experience life like this and with your dog and someone you love. I came back from my bike ride and I was gone for, I think, an hour and 40 minutes. And I started thinking about, you know, how grateful I am for Rachel and our relationship and what we get to do. He's wanting because it's I can't say the word. And it was just like, wow, I found my match on a dating app, like the person that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. And I'm so happy for that. I'm so grateful. And I came back and I just said, you know, Rachel, like I want you to know, you already know this, but you're the most important person I have ever met. The most important person to me, and like, you're my person. I love you so much, and it's crazy to me that we live in this small of a space, and I can leave for an hour and a half, and it's not like I'm like, oh, I got to get back. I miss Rachel. It's just like, wow, it's there. That feeling is there. I love the connection that we have. She makes me smile, makes me laugh, and vice versa for her. And that's what life's all about. And we've slowed it down so much that, like, this is what is important to us. Focusing on our relationship, our foundation for each other, and having the free time and ability to say, hey, you know, let's go get out in nature. Let's experience life for what we were meant to do. It's so beautiful. I don't really think we are all meant to just consume and buy all these material things and spend life for 30 years at the grindstone. You have to work. You need money to live. I completely understand that. We just had a tire blowout. If they don't cover it, that's $200. Diesel isn't free. But you can analyze your expenses and say, hey, you know, do I need to go out to eat 5 times a week? Does that really bring me joy? Does Taco Bell or this restaurant that I go to for American food, is that something I can make at home and save what's that? Okay. It's just one of those things of where, you know, analyze where your money's going to. I mean, do you need to rent a $2,500 a month place? Hell, you could live in your vehicle. We're living proof of that. And sure, society tells you that's insane. You're homeless. We're doing it by choice. I understand there are people that, you know, don't have the means or they're in a bad situation. And I'm not glorifying it. I know it sounds like that, but after 3 years of us living like this, sure, do we have my folks' place where we'll go back and we'll spend 3 weeks or a month? We do that to catch up with them. We do that to see our friends and family, and then we hit the road again and we're happy on the road. Why are we happy on the road? Because it's easy, it's simple, and we get to experience stuff like this for free. other than our diesel. But let's say we go back home and for 3 months we've spent $1,200 in diesel. Zeke, please, buddy, we will go down. He's getting hungry. I mean, that's crazy numbers split between two people. $1,200 for 3 months? It's stupid. Like, we're gonna pay for food, whether we're home or here. So my boy wants to go down. He heard the D word. He's starving Marvin. I'll show you this view. Anyways, love your life. Live your life, most importantly. And get out here and just explore and see some of this stuff. So many people wait until the end and then something happens to their spouse or a child, whatever. And I'm not trying to talk doom and gloom. We've heard it. We've heard the stories traveling of where people are like, you know, keep doing it. Do it until you can't anymore. Because there's going to be a day that you're going to wish that you had done it longer than you did. So anyways, there's that. I'm going to go down for dinner. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. What a good dog, dude. He just like stops and he waits and he's like, Dad, you okay? We're so lucky. Rach and I were just talking about how I'm never going to be able to rewatch any of these videos because after he's not in the picture, it's just I'm not going to be able to watch a video of hiking up a mountain with him when he's no longer here. But like anything in life, you just have to embrace the good. Not trying to just talk about like the end and death, but part of living is accepting that it's not infinite, like it's not forever. You know, it could be taken from him, it could be taken from us, to where that's the biggest key point, is enjoy it. Act as though tomorrow's not going to come. And Rachel and I, you know, consistently do that to where we tell each other, hey, you know, if something happens to me, I want you to know that I love you, and this adventure with you and everything we've experienced has been enough. It's been a life worth living. But man, when he, when he ain't here doing this with us, it's really going to be tough. I guess tonight's the night where he almost wanted to end it. You can't go down that, dude. Bonehead. I'll show you guys the other side of this thing that he was just going to try and scale and jump down. Yeah, good job. I'm talking about him not being here with us, and then he just goes and jumps off a... Talk about timing, you know, you just... I guess you truly never know. Yeah, anyways, I'll pan one more view here, and then I'll get that when I get down there. What a gem. So glad we came down here. We've been to this spot so many times and never came this far down, minus the flat tire. We kind of went up into there. So this is the spot, this thing right here. Dude, look how big that, how tall that is. He went out right to the edge and had those rocks started slipping. I mean, sure, he probably, if he fell right there, that's a decent ways, man. Yeah, the guy's just got no fear. These clouds are just crazy. I just don't even have words anymore. I'm sick of saying, oh, that's so beautiful, that's so gorgeous. I mean, I'm glad I'm saying that instead of, oh, that's so ugly, but it's just, this is just constant. It's all the time. Not every day. Sometimes it is Cracker Barrels and rest areas, but 80% of the time it's stuff like this. Unless, if we're in Florida, that's 100% or 80% of the time it's Cracker Barrels, but we're gonna sit, have a propane fire. After the flat tire, we cracked into a bourbon barrel stout that Rachel bought. Well, we bought it together, but she picked it out or found it. And I'm gonna sip on some whiskey. Nothing crazy, but just enjoy this view and a fire and the peace and quiet. There's no one out here, man. There's people over there for sure, but in this particular spot we're at, just lovely. I'm serious, guys, you can't pay for campgrounds like this. I mean, you can, but not in the sense of this remote. Any campground that has a view like that, there's 700 spots and they're all just one next to another, you know, packed like sardines so that they can get as much money as possible for the spot. I could smell it coming down the hill.
No way.
Yeah, serious. First I thought it was like, I was like, what's that smell?
It's a mirage.
Mmm. We're due for some taco bowls. Yum yum. Chicken too. Imagine that.
Yes.
Good stuff. Okay. I will get your chow. You are hungry?
It's in the back, sorry.
I almost forgot to get a video of Rachel's masterpiece. Oh, it's so good. Avocado, chicken, green peppers, jalapeno, onion, cilantro, rice,
Lime.
chipotle salsa, lime, Diablo, the whole shebang. We're so spoiled. I'm so spoiled. We're, because of the view. It's about all I can offer.
You changed a tire today.
That's true. So I got us here to the view. We're a good team.
We'd be like a half a mile that way if you didn't.
Yeah. Stuck. We've been out here just talking about the adventures and our life and our love life, the journey, and all the good stuff. But now I'm gonna pack. I'm gonna pack it up. So I just figured I'd recap. You guys have a good night. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Granite. What was the
Granite.
Granite?
Something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out one of these days. I gotta close up shop before the mice get in.